Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask the Experts. I'm Rachel Landry, and today I'm joined by Mackenzie Mills, the technical content writer here at the company. Today, Mackenzie will be talking to us about accessing environmental data in Global Mapper. All right, Mac, show us this workflow.
The online data source tool in Global Mapper provides access to a whole list of built-in online sources that convey different types of data and different data characteristics. So in this online data source dialog, the built-in sources are organized into folders, and under the NASA folder, we'll see a lot of sources that describe various characteristics based on satellite imagery. These are raster layers that are date-specific that can be loaded into Global Mapper. If I pick a land surface reflectance layer in a true color configuration, I can connect to the source, and when I click connect, you see that Global Mapper prompts me to enter a date for the data that I would like to display. I'm going to stick with this date here for May 6th of this year and click OK, and with that, the data loads into Global Mapper. This is data that's collected in strips and mosaiced together to create a worldwide data source. And since this data is date specific, I can continue returning to that online data source tool to import more data for different dates through the user interface. To make this process a little more efficient, I have generated a short Global Mapper script here to pull 11 additional online data source layers from this same source with different dates. So I'm pulling one day from each month of the past year, so the 6th of every month. Once this script completes running, we now have 12 raster data layers streamed from this online source in the Global Mapper workspace. The time or the date is noted as the time in each layer name. These layers can then be reordered and toggled on and off to view them individually. Since this data is somewhat sequential, noting different times throughout the year, a good way to view these layers and sort of automatically scroll through them is with the Animate Tool in Global Mapper. So selecting all the layers in the control center, I can add these to an animation with that Animate toolbar, and then play the animation. Here we see that the layer being displayed is shown at the top of the main view, and the layers are scrolled through automatically in this animation at a particular time interval. The tortoise and hare buttons on the animation toolbar can speed up or slow down the changing of the layers, so you have maybe a little more time to interpret each layer as it comes up in the animation. While I'm doing this with satellite imagery streamed into Global Mapper from an online source, this animation can be applied to any data layers that are in Global Mapper, whether those are raster, elevation, or vector data layers.
Mackenzie, thank you so much for showing us this workflow. I know that our users will find it very useful. To learn more about Global Mapper or Global Mapper Pro, please visit bluemarblego.com today. And as always, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Ask the Experts, and we look forward to seeing you next time.